The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up to 2020 in the election. They tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. You know, when we caught Hillary Clinton, I said, you know what? Let's not go too far here. It's the ex-wife of a president, and I thought it was sort of terrible. And I let her off the hook, and I'm very happy I did. But it's time to start, after what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper. The papers are signed. The papers came right out of their office. They sent everything to be highly classified. Well, the highly classified's been released. And what they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level. So that's really the things you should be talking about.
That is one of the things we will be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is the Tuesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Fastest hour in American media. I am James Golden, your host. And indeed, that was Donald Trump this morning. He met with Ferdinand Marcos. If that name sounds familiar, boy, it should. I remember reading a book ages ago on the Ferdinand Marcos the presidency dictator pretty much of the Philippines, that was so complicated in terms of the involvement of the U.S. State Department and all of it. Yes.
It says in quotations, it's Ferdinand Bong Bong Marcos Jr. What is that?
The grandson. Grandson. Yeah. You know, and to this day, Ferdinand Marcos is loved, the old president, in many quarters of. I've been to the Philippines a few times, and the older Marcos is still. That is a country that is. Let me be generous. They have severe problems with corruption, just getting things done, where sometimes it takes a little personal incentive on the part of people to get things accomplished. It's a beautiful country in many ways, at least the parts that I've seen. I haven't seen it. It's over 1,000 islands. I've only been to the island of Luzon, which is the main island, which is where, Manila and all that stuff is. But anyway, the Marcos name still carries a lot of weight, and apparently a trade deal has been reached with the Philippines that will open it up to U.S. goods at zero tariffs, and Philippine goods coming to the United States will be at a 19% tariff. And so we shall see how that plays out. We will continue to give the Philippines military assistance. We are, in the Obama and Biden years, we kind of relaxed the American presence in the Philippines. And that's a dangerous thing considering the aggressive nature of China on the South China Sea. They've already been threatening the Philippines for years, and some of the other nations that use the waterways called the South China Sea. Anyway, I don't want to get too far deep into foreign policy because my intent was to talk about the business with the DOJ and this Barack Obama's name coming up, part of the plot to subvert Donald Trump's 2016 victory. He wasn't part of it. He was the head of it, according to what we know, and that will have to be if there is going to be legal action, if the Justice Department takes this referral seriously. It will be time to let the air clear with all of this, with Comey, with Clapper, Brennan, the whole Obama administration, Hillary Clinton. It is time for daylight. Now, speaking of daylight, the House of Representatives is going home early. They usually take a recess in August and come back They usually, for almost the entire month of August, they disappear, go bye-bye, go back to their district, supposedly, travel around the world, do whatever Congress people do. But because of this Epstein stuff, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, has decided, okay, guys, go home. So that there will be no vote, which is what everyone was pressing for. And by the way, this was the rare bipartisan effort. Every Democrat you can think of and a few Republicans were demanding that the administration release everything they have. They wanted to come up with some sort of legislation that would push the White House into supposedly releasing documents. House Speaker Mike Johnson said this morning he wants to give the White House space to release the Epstein information on its own, despite this bipartisan push in the House for legislation that would force more document production. There's no purpose for the Congress to push an administration to do something they're already doing. Speaker Johnson said at his weekly press conference, but there is still a lot of quote-unquote intra-party turmoil unfolding on Capitol Hill regarding members that wanted full accounting of the sex trafficking investigation of Jeffrey Epstein, who has been dead for, 7 years? 7 years. And so 7 years later, 2019, 6 years, going on 7. 6 years. So 6 years ago, this guy, well, he either committed suicide or something else happened. And 6 years later, now all of a sudden, Congress's members of the Democrat caucus and the Republican caucus, some members are up in arms. Oh, we need to know everything now. We need to know everything. Release everything, release everything, release everything. For 6 years, throughout the entire Biden administration, the Epstein stuff has been exactly where it is now. Whatever it is has been there. And not one of these Republicans that's now screaming bloody murder, not one of these Democrats that are now screaming at the top of their lung that they want to see everything about Jeffrey Epstein, decided it was worth making a big to-do out of. Now, all of a sudden, here we go. We gotta have them writing a law that says release everything. These same Republicans have never decided to demand a law, or they never demanded in the time of Obama that all of the documents pertaining to multiple scandals were released, including the gun running that went on. That would be the Fast and Furious. I bet you most people don't even remember what Fast and Furious was. Nope, didn't have anything to do with the movies. That was the name of the United States of America, apparently under Barack Obama, sent guns untraced down to Mexico, supposedly to try to trace the gun running networks that were running. And Justice Department knew all about this stuff, right? And one of these guns ended up in the murder of a Border Patrol agent. Oh, yeah. And to this day, no information has been really released on who was responsible when the Obama administration did that. There have been scandals going back to the Clintons that Republicans have never demanded, stood on their haunches, stood on their hind legs, wagged their tails, and demanded we get a full accounting of, or else we're going to get legislation and we're going to get to the bottom of it. But all of a sudden with this one, All of a sudden, here they are, so big and righteous and standing tall up on their haunches. The little tails are wagging back and forth, swaying in the wind. I won't say anything about the odor, but here we go. Oh, the White House is holding out. We need every single document. We have enough right now. By the way, why didn't these same Republicans stand on their haunches with their tails wagging and demand every single document, intelligence on that Tulsi Gabbard just released? That stuff's been sitting around too. Where were they? Look, I'm sorry. The Epstein thing I want to know about the child trafficking. Yes, I want to know about all that. Joe Biden trafficked more kids into America than Jeffrey Epstein trafficked. Ooh, that's a terrible thing for you to say. I can back it up. All of these undocumented minors that were let in during the Biden administration, they're still trying to track them down. Estimates are 300,000. Do you see Republicans in Congress standing on their haunches, standing with all their paws with two of their paws on the ground and the other two up in the air while their tail is wagging, demanding that every single piece of evidence about Joe Biden's plans with illegal immigration and letting undocumented all the work, the coordination that they did with NGOs to facilitate illegal immigration, all of the documents that they did working with not only NGOs, but other advocacy groups, and they're to facilitate the largest illegal immigration scam in American history. Anybody on the Republican side standing up with the tail wagging in the wind, demanding that they see every single document that got us into this immigration mess, that got us into this child trafficking mess that has 300,000 children lost somewhere inside the United States? Coyotes involved, drug smugglers involved. Anybody? Why? Why all of a sudden is Epstein the number one thing? We got to stand up. So anyway, Johnson sent him home. Good for him. Meanwhile, Todd Blanche, second highest ranking official at the Justice Department, said he plans to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. Is that how you pronounce this broad's name? Ghislaine? I've heard so many different pronunciations. Ghislaine. I want to call her Ghislaine, but I dare not. Supposedly he's going to meet with Ms. Maxwell in coming days about the case. Justice demands courage. For the first time, the Department of Justice is reaching out to Ghislaine Maxwell to ask, what do you know? All right, whatever. Sorry if I seem cynical. I am. James Golden, Snerdley. Keep it right here. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
But you've never seen anything like that. And we have all of the documents. And from what Tulsi told me, she's got thousands of additional documents coming. So President Obama, it was his concept, his idea.
James Golden, Snerdley with you here. Stephen Colbert is having a little meltdown. He had this to say, Donald Trump trolled him a little bit about being fired. He had this to say in response.
On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings."
How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
Oh, how utterly brilliant and wow. talented. Go F yourself. Hey, James Golden, Snerdley, keep it right here. We have so much more. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I don't know what's lower percentage, playing with extreme policies or extreme politics, like going all in suddenly on Epstein as the Democrats are. If they cared, why didn't they ever do anything about it during the Biden administration? As hollow as I find the intrigue surrounding a mythical client list or these magical notions that Epstein was murdered, at least the MAGA folk are asking for transparency in the name of discovering if more people need to be held responsible for trafficking and sexually abusing children. Democrats aren't asking for that. They're clearly only interested in causing Trump agita.
I want to go back to this Colbert thing for a minute, and we got some other things I want to cover. Colbert acknowledged he tore into Paramount Global over their decision to end his show. CBS last week said it was born out of financial necessity. Colbert accused CBS of leaking financial figures to the press. Leaking? What are they, government? They can tell the press. Leaking? They leaked it? They told the press, we're firing the guy for financial. This is nothing personal. It's just business. A little ebonic there. Just business. And why was it just business? Because the show's losing $40 million a year. $40 million. It has an extremely high production. They're doing it out of the Ed Sullivan Theater, which is, not cheap, I guess, to maintain, to operate. And then you have the show's cost. So he quipped, 40 million is a big number. I can see us losing 24 million, but where could Paramount possibly have spent the other 16 million? Oh, he's talking about the lawsuit with Donald Trump. So, look, I am not one that is going to knock his talent or not talent. He made it to the level that he got to because of a reason. And I have to assume, as hard it is for most people in this industry, in the broadcast industry, whether you're on the television, radio side, even if you're in print, as difficult as it is to make it, especially to make it to the level that he was, I believe you have to have, whether I agree, whether I like his talent or not. Look, the guy he does music, and he can play piano. He came up with, so I remember seeing him years and years and years ago when he was part of that little parody group that used to do stuff in Washington, D.C. There was a little parody troupe that used to do political skits and stuff, and he was part of that. That's where he became, I think, known. And he was, I didn't even like his, it was all liberal. I never appreciated the stuff that he did from a content standpoint, but it took talent to do it. So I'm not going to sit here and try to denounce the guy and, he's miserable, doesn't have any talent. No. I think I applaud anybody that makes it, that works hard. Whether I like what they're producing or not, it's not for me to judge them and what they do. Not that way. But I will say this. The idea that you can be making an exorbitant salary in the millions yourself and not understand that a company should not be losing $40 million on your show every year. Let me just suggest something, perhaps. If he were as committed as some others would do, some other people would say, you know what? I will take the bare minimum salary I need to live on. If I'm making multi-millions, no. Spend some of those millions on the production so I can keep the staff that I want. How else can we reduce the cost so that the show becomes profitable? Do we have to move outside of Manhattan and get a lower set? Fine with me. We don't have to do it in Manhattan at the Ed Sullivan Theater if it's going to cost that much. There were all kind of ways that you can, if you know your program is losing money, especially those kind of bucks, what can you do to help? Rather than to rag on your network, which seems to me a little bit ungrateful. You know, no matter what, even if he has disagreements with management there, they gave him a platform. They are the ones that provided the network. They take the risk, ultimately. And in this case, they're losing money. And so why not just be classy and just be grateful for the opportunity? Hey, we rode this pony as long as we could ride it. I'm going to do some other things here, but nothing but gratefulness and gratitude for the folks at CBS. Because without them, the program wouldn't be. Instead of just being lousy about it. That's all I'm saying. Again, it's up to others to decide whether that type of humor is for them, et cetera, et cetera. I just think people in media should be a little bit more classy when they, especially if they've been given great opportunities. Oh, I just got a text from overseas. The Countess of Conspiracy and Tom Bond are over in a foreign country close to the Bond. It would have some significance to the Bonds. But I won't divulge exactly where. I'm seeing pictures from beautiful, beautiful, beautiful locations across the pond. So travel safe, guys. Carlos, you had a question. Or was it? What was it?
No, I was doing the Gun figure as in James Bond because I heard the.
Oh, okay, good. But you mentioned to me that CBS is doing what now with South Park?
I'm sorry. Yeah, this morning I saw that CBS bought the streaming rights for actually Paramount Plus did for South Park for $300 million per year for 5 years, which accounts to $1.5 billion.
$300 million a year for 5 years.
Yes, they were currently acquired. They were HBO had it, and because the contract expired, Paramount Plus swooped in and took it for themselves.
Well, you know what? And guess what? Nobody's complaining. Animated makes money, so they see the thing of their investment, and that's the way it works. You know? Okay. Another unhappy person. In a move signaling a firm stance against those who undermine national security and law enforcement, DOJ has terminated an employee. Her name is Carolyn Feinstein. She is the wife of the Ice Block app creator. She's now ticked off and whining about there being retribution. She was formerly an auditor for the Office of the U.S. Trustee. Her husband, Joshua Aaron, is the developer behind the Ice Block app, which supposedly helps illegal immigrants escape ICE. So basically he's trying to do is help people that are breaking the law continue to break the law. And she says, since she was fired from it's insulting to me because I dedicated myself in my career to serving the people of the United States. And now the DOJ is claiming I was attempting to harm some of them. And that's not true. That's not true. It may not be true. But apparently, DOJ said that whatever, she holds a financial stake in this app. And if she does, it would seem to me that would be reason enough to let her go. If she doesn't, and if it's a mistake, she has legal options, I'm sure. Talk about retribution. Carolyn Levitt was asked about Donald Trump, if he was serious about preventing the Washington Commanders or trying to get in the way of a new stadium deal for them based on that woke name change. That's cut number 8, Carlos. And this is what Caroline said about it.
Was the president serious or was he joking this weekend when he said he might block a Washington Commanders stadium deal if they don't change their name?
The president was serious, and as part of the art of the deal, part of his negotiating skills, as you know, sports is one of the many passions of this president, and he wants to see the name of that team changed.
Why is he getting involved in that? Why does he see that as part of his purview?
I think you've seen the president gets involved in a lot of things that most presidents have not. He's a non-traditional president. He likes to see results on behalf of the American people. And if you actually poll this issue with sports fans across the country and even in this city, people actually do support the president's position on this and the name change.
Yeah, so you have that. Now, let's visit. I'm going all over the place, folks. I want to get a few things in. Let's go to California for a minute. I got two for you here. In-N-Out, and I've never, of course, eaten at In-N-Out. I'm a vegetarian. Carlos, what? I hear nothing but praise about In-N-Out. In-N-Out. Supposedly it's the best food chain ever of all
Mediocre
time.
At best.
Mediocre?
We have better sliders here in New York.
So when you were in California, which wasn't too long ago,
I didn't touch that stuff.
You wouldn't touch it?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyway, I've never had an In-N-Out because I don't eat burgers. But everybody, except for Carlos here, raves about, In-N-Out, In-N-Out, In-N-Out. Anyway, In-N-Out's getting out. They decided it's time to get out, not in California. And Kevin O'Leary, among others, was talking about that, cut 12 on Fox Business, talking about In-N-Out leaving California.
It's bad policy. It's bad management at both the state level and municipal. I don't wear my watches in any California cities anymore. Yeah. Some of them are lawless wastelands downtown. The defund the police thing was a bad idea. It's not just In-N-Out. Chevron, one of the world's most iconic energy companies, was started in California. They actually left their home state. If that doesn't tell you it's broken, I don't know what does. Energy independence is crucial for America. They basically said, can't stay here anymore, even though this is our legacy. We have to leave under these punitive policies. I'm so happy there is competition of states. Tennessee is a go-to state. Florida, Texas, there are many others, North Dakota, South Dakota. I think it's important that we understand that now we have social media that sees these stories and it spreads it out everywhere, that if you are a policy maker, and you're held accountable now. I mean, this is right on Gavin Newsom's lap.
And while we're out in California, let's visit a woman whose husband was arrested because, and I should do this last, but I'll do it first, tell you why he was arrested, and then listen to her explanation about what happened. There was a guy last week, this video went viral all over social media, who had slashed the tires of ICE agents while they were in the field doing work. He slashed it, and the tire was flat. They caught this guy slashing the tire. Now listen to his wife's version of what happened. That's cut 4, Carlos. Listen to the wife's version of what happened.
He called me and he said that he was at Home Depot and that there was guys with guns in the parking lot.
Oh, no.
And he's like, I think it's ICE. And I was like, are you sure? And then his line went dead. I live nearby, so I rushed over here. And then that's what I pull up to. I pull up to him running across the parking lot, people tackling him, and one guy got in my face with mace and was like, I'm gonna mace you back up. I was like, why are you gonna mace me? And then I go around to try and record what they're doing to him, and one guy gets right in front of me and trying to block me and starts pushing me. I said, don't touch me. I'm still recording. I'm like, leave him alone. He's a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, well, he got sprayed. And she was trying to, it looked to the video, I don't want to say what was in her heart, but it looked to me from the video, she was trying to interfere, put it kindly, like that. All right, we got to take a quick break. Come back, we'll see what else we can squeeze in here. Fastest hour in American media.
The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Rush Hour with James Golden on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, let's see. I'm getting a check here. I'm getting a text here from Princess Diana. A breaking statement from the office of President Obama. Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are enough, they say, to merit a response. Oh, this is amazing. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in the 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then-Chairman Marco Rubio. I played that Democrat yesterday that was using this as if only there was a profession which asked pertinent questions of elected officials. Someone should ask Rubio that question, Prince Diana says. Oh, yeah. Well, guess what this says to me? Princess, help me. Give me a quick thumbs up. It tells me they're worried. Usually they don't respond. This one, they're putting out a line quick. They're trying to figure out how to get ahead of it. Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on that. Are they worried? Boom. It seems to me this statement from the Obama office of the former presidency is a little bit concerned, and as well they should be, when Trump is saying up front, we're going after them. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your family, your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being here with me, my friends, allowing me here with you. God willing, we are back tomorrow for the Wednesday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. We will continue this if we do. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.